All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So in this one, I wanted to quickly talk about some of the notable roster cuts that the Jets have made in the last 24 hours here, because some of them, I got to be honest with you, it makes you think what's going to be happening in the future. Some of Joe Douglas's guys, right, some of his guys are not going to be here. Outright release. And of course, some guys the Jets want to bring back, they want to bring back to their practice squad, but it's not guaranteed. It's not always going to be the case if another team has, their eye on a given player. I got the list right in front of me here. First up, Javelin Guidry. Personally, I thought he was going to be making the team as a backup nickel corner. Not the case. Next up, Chris Streveler. To be honest with you, I feel like I could spend a good 5-10 minutes talking about Streveler, this whole situation. But in a nutshell, I don't think he should have been released, to be honest with you. If they want to stash him on the practice squad, I get it. That's what I would do. But in my opinion, Streveler beat out Mike White for the third quarterback job. We saw what he did in preseason. Not only did he just look like a good player, a capable player, but he continuously came back when the team was down. That he rallied the guys. The players absolutely loved playing for him. It seemed like the coaches loved him. The fans obviously loved him as well. His physical traits, he did a really good job with ball placement. He's a mobile guy. I really like, and I know he's not some top 10 guy. I know he's not a former MVP in the NFL level, but when I'm looking at what Chris Streveler did in preseason with limited reps in training camp, I think he really did enough. He was more impressive than Mike White, in my opinion. I feel like I'm not alone in saying that. And then for Robert Saleh to come out and say, hey, it was, one of the best preseasons, or it was the best preseason that he's ever seen, whatever the exact quote was. And I don't know if it was a joke. I don't know if he was being sarcastic or if he was serious. But to then go out and release him, what does it really say to the rest of the guys? It's almost like Mike White was guaranteed the job no matter how he looked in preseason. So the situation is just strange. But moving on, Perine, former middle round draft pick by Joe Douglas. Tevin Coleman. I thought Tevin Coleman was going to be making the roster as a veteran running back option behind Michael Carter and Breece Hall. Not the case. Isaiah Dunn, I like his physical upside. There's a pretty good chance I feel like he's going to be claimed. He's going to be on another practice squad this season. Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Jason Pinncok was just released. Okay, that's what kind of sparked this video, because I was not expecting Pinncok to be released. Not only was it just Pinncok at safety, but Will Parks as well. Will Parks put together a really, really good training camp. I thought he looked pretty solid in preseason as well. You pair that with Elijah Riley being released in the first wave of cuts. What's the plan at safety here? This was a position last year that I felt like it was decimated almost on a week in, week out basis. They didn't have the depth. Marcus May got hurt. LaMarcus Joyner was hurt. Ashton Davis was out there. We're looking at the roster right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm forgetting somebody here. Jordan Whitehead, awesome. I love him. LaMarcus Joyner, solid veteran option. Not the long-term option, but a solid answer in the short term. Ashton Davis. I think that's it. So what these moves are telling me is that Joe Douglas probably has his eye on a safety or two out there right now. Is it a coincidence that Jaquiski Tartt, a guy that knows the system, a veteran in this league, a guy who knows Robert Saleh, has played with him before, can come in and instantly fill that free safety position? Granted, injury problems. Granted, he's not a top safety in the football, given his release. But is it a coincidence that the Philadelphia Eagles just parted ways with him? Maybe. Could he be on Joe Douglas's radar? I would say yes. Is there maybe somebody else? This is the perfect time to acquire young talent. Maybe guys that you couldn't have drafted. They got picked at a spot ahead of you. Whatever the case is. Is that going to happen here? I do expect Joe Douglas to be active. Let's face it, the Jets are not a top 5 team in football. We still have numerous holes. I think there's talent out there. We've seen some surprise cuts so far. It wouldn't shock me in the slightest to see JD make a move. But, some of these moves are understandable. Like Perine, I get it. Isaiah Dunn. Yeah. Javelin Guidry, you can understand why these moves are being made, but Will Parks and Jason Pinncok at a position that's extremely thin already, I think a move's going to be made. Okay, so those are the cuts up to this point, the notable cuts, I should say. I'm gonna be doing videos later today as well, like the 53 official. You know, when the official 53-man roster comes out, should be really, really exciting. I can't wait for it. It's 4 o'clock, and I'll get here soon enough. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you think it's interesting? Am I reading too much into it? Am I just kind of too optimistic here? I don't know. It's just striking me as a little that the safety position is almost just being wiped clean outside of the 2 guys and Ashtyn Davis. And to be honest with you, I thought Jason Pinncok and Will Parks, well, Jason Pinncok, in my opinion, should have made the roster over Ashtyn Davis. Like, if I had my choice between either one of those players, I think I would take Pinncok, especially because he's going into year 2. He was a little impressive last year, especially the back half of last year against, you know, the Buccaneers when he was playing the safety position. Ashtyn Davis, on the other hand, a little bit older. I don't know. It's a little tough. But to be honest with you, I guess I would take Davis over Parks. But, you know, when we do look at Parks' training camp, it was impressive. We can't just sweep it under the rug and say, oh, you know, he's not a star safety, he's not that good. We do have to give credit where it's due. But anyway, weird situation. I'm rambling at this point. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, go Jets.